So I thought I would share my thoughts with you all about recent news for the upcoming Tour de France. Chris Froome and Geraint Thomas are left off the squad. Two past winners are left off in favor of the young upcoming talent, Egan Bernal, and they're adding the Giro champion from Ecuador, Richard Carapaz. So it is a big surprise to the cycling community, and I'm sure it's a blow to Froome and Thomas, who I've enjoyed watching their cycling successes over the years. I particularly enjoyed watching Thomas's Tour victory, and I thought it was impressive that he came back and finished second last year as well. However, I think it is a very good move by the team. It shows kind of a cold, calculating approach towards going for the win. They've also set it up so that Thomas can ride the Giro as sole leader, and Froome can go for the Vuelta. These are the Tour of Italy and the Tour of Spain, respectively. So they have strong possibilities of having victories, or at least high placements, at all three of the Grand Tours. And I'm sure Froome and Thomas are a little bit dejected, but hopefully they can channel their champion's energy and put that towards getting a really good result, to have their last laugh. But I think it's a particularly good call in the recent races in France, where they're doing some of the same climbs that they're going to do in the Tour de France. They were performing not nearly up to par for people who are potentially supposed to be Tour winners. That's understandable after the big break of racing, and people's bodies adapt differently from just large training blocks and different mental, physical stuff that people have gone through during the lockdown pandemic. And the thing about the Tour is a lot of times they have a opening week that's very flat, and you can lose a pound or two, and you can kind of get your race rhythm going, and also the climbers can get a little bit fatigued battling in the winds and for position, which the time trialists and non-climbers, or at least not pure climbers, tend to be better at that sort of thing. And the thing with the Tour also is that the time trials and the climbs, especially in week 2, week 3, a lot of that comes down to who's least exhausted, not necessarily who could go out and post the best time of a climb when their legs are fresh. So overall endurance, and the endurance that gets taxed from the flat and windy stages, has a big part of it. But this year, the Tour starts in Nice. Now, for those who aren't familiar with the area, the Alps basically go right to the sea in Nice. So the foothills of Nice are the foothills of the Alps. And I think in the first stage they do a small loop with some little climbs that will still be a challenge. And then I believe the second or third stage they do a big loop, and they tackle the famous Col de Tourny, which is a climb that goes above 5,000 feet, so they'll be starting at sea level, climbing over a vertical mile, and it has a bunch of hairpins. It's very similar, actually, to the more infamous Alpe d'Huez climb, a little deeper in the heart of the Alps. But this climb has been made famous from Formula One racing. They have a car race over it in January because of its proximity to the sea. There's enough sunshine on the southern slopes that they can have a race on these epic hairpins that scale this mountain. I did this climb once in June in a rainstorm, and it was unbelievable. It is such an amazing road to ride. If you are considering going to Europe at some point, and if you like climbing and you love beautiful stonework and switchbacks, then I highly, highly recommend it. The Alps, the Pyrenees, and the Dolomites are fantastic places to ride your bike, not just for the pure beauty of the scenery, which we have in California and a lot of parts of the world as well, but accessibility to water, food, and drink on these remote mountain roads. It's really cool to go ride a mountain and feel like you're in the middle of nowhere, and then come across this little castle-looking building that happens to be a tavern, and get one of the best coffees and desserts that you've ever had in your life after doing an epic 3,000 foot climb. So, and virtually most of the climbs in Europe have that, if not a couple places halfway up that you can get some fuel if you run out. So yeah, the opening first week of the tour is going to be very challenging. It's going to be beautiful and epic. And if you're not on your game, if you're trying to ride into form, you can lose a lot of time. I don't think people are going to gain tremendous time on these opening stages because they still have downhill finishes and whatnot. But if you don't make the split, and also if it rains and you're trying to descend in the switchbacks, I am very, very convinced that there's going to be some people who lose out and people who crash out in that first bit of the tour. And yeah, the people who aren't on form, no matter what history they have, no matter how much experience they have, they're going to be shelled out the back, and it's going to show who's racing for the win pretty quickly. So exciting stuff for this upcoming late summer, fall, unprecedented Tour de France. So I look forward to seeing how the prediction works out. I look forward to seeing Froome and Thomas race the Giro and the Vuelta. I wish them luck, as well as all racers to participate in these events. Stay safe. And for those of you watching at home, I hope you really enjoy. I know I will. All right, I'll see you soon.